team. I wanted to follow up on my food experiment. I was doing my plate, 2,200 calories a day, and I was having a lot of like nuts and fruits and salad, salad in a tortilla. I've got this thing where it's like, I don't really care for salad, but put it in a tortilla and it's the best thing ever. Any kind of salad, put it in a tortilla and it's golden. So that's kind of my philosophy. Anyway, so I was eating a lot of healthy-ish foods like that, and I was very excited about it. I was counting calories, and I read this book on naturopathy, and so I wanted to break it down farther. I got some strips to test my blood glucose, my iron levels, my cholesterol, and my uric acid, and I also have a thermometer here, and I can also study how many liters per minute I can breathe. So I found that out, and I decided I was going to start doing that measurement daily as well. But I wanted to see how the diet was affecting my body. And I was repeating foods a lot, so it was just those foods. So I wanted to see, following my plate with those foods, how was I doing? And then I was going to add in exercise. Unfortunately, I ran out of the strips, so I had to wait. And then by the time I got the strips back, I had gotten sick, and I wasn't able to get back on the horse for the diet. And all of a sudden, kind of became, I cannot eat more of the same foods. It's all the dried fruits were too rich, and the nuts were too rich, and I didn't want salad anymore. I didn't want salad in a tortilla, of course, right when you are able to move forward. Once you get the strips back in, it would just be about adding in exercise and see if that changes the numbers. But now my body and my psyche is being fractious, and we don't want to eat the same stuff anymore. We've been doing it for months. So might have to put it on hold a little bit, of course, and that's fine. Maybe I can revisit it next year, or in a couple months we'll get that back on the menu. They were good foods, so it was not bad. It was great. I felt healthy. I loved it. So it was just that getting sick, that turning point. I started babying myself, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want this anymore. And then like that's what my brain was saying, or like my me monster was saying. But then my brain was like, no, you stinking want it. We want this data. So it's like, it's an inner conflict. But anyway, we'll do it in a couple months, but we're going to placate this, and we're going to move on, and we'll come back. It's fine. But anyway, I was reading this book on naturopathy, and it talks about kind of measuring waste, and it talks about maintaining balance throughout your internal ecosystem, and any overconsumption that you have of any like minerals, vitamins, foods, it tends to kind of sit in there, and it becomes waste, and so your body isn't always the greatest at getting that out, and so if you have waste in your system, or it can kind of create those imbalances. So I had made a video that I was going to kind of look at that. I was going to start looking at how many sugars I was consuming, how much caffeine I was consuming, how much protein I was actually consuming, because it did say you can overdo protein. I'm vegan, and so I did not have protein for a very long time, and so then I was like, protein, yay! And so then I was like, I'm going to have protein, and I loved finding the nuts, because I didn't eat nuts growing up. I didn't like nuts. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, I need protein. I don't want to perish due to lack of protein. So I started getting the nuts because they were cheap, and then I started discovering other nuts, and they were delightful. So honestly, it worked out. I do know someone who is all protein, the all protein diet, and this book kind of says you want to watch that level. You don't want to overconsume protein either. And so I kind of wanted to pay attention to that. It is easy now looking at like a nut serving size. It's like a quarter cup is a serving, and that's pretty easy eating, I think, throughout the day, to have 3 servings of protein. That's like a cup and a half of nuts. That is not hard. That's pretty manageable. So anyway. So I'm going to look at that. That one I'm especially interested in, just because of the person I know who does the high protein diet. I want to look at those. I want to see how that affects my uric acid specifically, because it does talk about how the foods you eat affect your pH levels. So I'm curious about that. And I did want to use the same diet I was using. Like I said, that's probably not going to happen. I would like to keep the diet in the realm of the My Plate and the 2,200 calories. It's going to be more difficult because I'm jonesing for real vegetables again, and I might put cooking back on the table. So it's going to be harder to be like, okay, so this was approximately a cup of cooked butternut squash, so it's gonna be difficult to figure out, okay, that is a serving of butternut squash, and then adding in all the spices and things like that, coconut oil and all the things you would add in for cooking different sauces or what have you. So it'll be more difficult to determine that, but that'll still be, I think that's a nice up to the experiment that I was doing anyway, mixing it up with different foods. So it's just a side step. Instead of adding exercise to the same diet, we will just change the diet and try it for the same thing, while also measuring more for the naturopathy element of it, the side of things. I'd love to know more about my acid levels. I did note that what I was eating was very rich, and I was doing a lot of the sugars too, with the granola bars, and my blood glucose was fine, but that doesn't mean I was in balance. It doesn't mean that I was I was not accumulating waste in that sector. So I'm curious. I just want to see what it's like, what's going on for real. So in order to do that, I'm going to start with a cleanse. And I am not the sort of person, I don't know that I have ever done a cleanse. But the book suggested that there were 3 different type ways that you could do it. One of them was just a fast, and I am not going to do that one. I am actually homesick right now, and I just don't think that would be healthy. And I'm just a whiny baby, and so I'm going to take baby steps for my first cleanse. And so then I think there was a cleanse with, I think that like a fast might have included water, just water. There was also a mono diet cleanse, and that's the one I'm going to try. I've got a bunch of watermelon in my fridge. I made sure that there were no more leftovers. So that was fun. I love food. So now I just have essentially a lot of watermelon in the fridge. So I'm going to have watermelon and water. That's going to be my mono diet, my one thing diet. It's supposed to clean out the system. Watermelon is mostly water anyway, so that'll be good. And we will hopefully go in a little bit cleaner than we may have previously. So this is meant to help get rid of any imbalances that you already have. I'm going to see how long I stay healthy and how long, because I am homesick. Yeah, right. Like I said, I've just got minimal symptoms. I mentioned it in a previous video. I've got COVID. So, but it's been negligible so far. I had headaches yesterday, and then today I have primarily muscle soreness, which I had yesterday. And I can tell there's phlegm, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm feeling okay. I've had it 3 other times already. I'm hoping that I've grown a little bit of tolerance, a little bit of immunity, but them there are fighting words, and I'm probably gonna be sick as a dog in the next couple days and just be like, just kidding, the cleanse didn't happen, everyone. But I was sick last week too. So who knows? Anyway, maybe that's why I got sick this time, because my immune system was compromised. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to try the cleanse. I'll report back, and we will see what happens. Then we can jump in, and I'll start adding vegetables and tofu and things like that into the menu instead of the just fruits, nuts, granola bars, and salad wraps. Woohoo! Thanks.